Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, my group member and I will be presenting about Kapasiti Pedagogi Pembelajaran Bermakna, or known as KPPB. First of all, I would like to introduce my group members. I am Siti Akila binti Muhammad Daud as the first presenter, and the second presenter is Nur Syahira Solehah binti Hasnizam, and the last presenter is Ain Farina binti Azman. So, we have 6 main points that we are going to go through, which are the CLO, course learning outcome, the big idea, essential questions, how to do the task, product, and last but not least, impact. There are 3 courses involved, which are TSLB 3073, EDUP 3053, and TSLB 3243, and all of them listed 5 CLOs. Most CLOs in all these courses are focusing on the highest level of the cognitive ability. This means, for all the 3 courses, we do a lot of higher order thinking, such as designing and producing materials, creating activities, and also planning lessons. With reference to the coursework that we did, the CLO involved for the KPPB initiative were CLO2 for TSLB 3073, which is design materials including remedial and enrichment for teaching, reading, and writing skills in the primary ESL classroom. CLO4 for EDUP 3053, produce effective media for teaching and learning, and CLO3 for TSLB 3243, create age-appropriate activities with materials developed for language learning, which has to be done in groups. The big idea for our KPPB initiative is creativity widens perspective in a global community. Our courses are mainly focusing on us being critical thinkers and creative during our learning process. Our coursework also required us to be creative in producing and designing materials.
Next, moving on to the third part, which is the essential questions. I, Nur Syahira Solehah binti Hasnizam, will be presenting the essential questions. There are altogether 6 essential questions for all the courses of TSLB 3073, TSLB 3243, and EDUP 3053I. Basically, our learning process for all the courses have indirectly addressed all of these essential questions, either during our learning process or during completing our coursework tasks. Next, I will pass to the next presenter.
Next, we will move on how to do the task. There are 5 processes of completing all coursework tasks. First of all, the lecturer assigns the coursework and informs the submission date for each task to the students during coursework briefing via Google Meet. After that, we analyze the questions to find for specific keyword and information needed to answer the question. Then, we work in groups to brainstorm and share ideas among each other on how to get started and collaborate so that everyone benefits from the collaboration. Then, we consult the lecturers and other individuals to get information to complete the given task. Last but not least, we discuss through social media platforms. For the TSLB 3073, the process of completing the task began when the lecturer gave recorded lectures, slides, and few materials like books and the SKP for us to refer on a Google Classroom platform. Although we have enough information to do the task, our lecturer encouraged us to explore and find more information on our own. By doing this, we managed to assimilate the information gained from the questions from the task in order to respond to the coursework requirement effectively. After that, we also use Google Meet as a medium to communicate and discuss with friends. We shared our opinion about how we understand the task and how to do it properly. We also collaborated with students from another class to get ideas. Then, we also used the WhatsApp platform to ask a few questions to our lecturer. Doing this has helped us to be on track and fill in our knowledge gaps in order to produce good outcomes. The process of asking questions allows us to confirm our understanding of a task, to make connection with other ideas, and also to become aware of what we do or do not know. Hence, both platforms have assisted us to uncover and acknowledge the better solutions that can be used in completing the task.
For TSLB 3243, Children and Literacy, we used Google Meet platform to discuss with our group mates about questions related to the coursework and talk about how each part of the work and information should be divided equally among the group mates. On the other hand, we commonly used WhatsApp to interact with our lecturer to ask any inquiries related to the subject, as it is more convenient and it is one of the fastest way to contact them. Besides, having a class group along with the lecturer for every subject on WhatsApp could also help both students and lecturer to share useful and informative information by using the platform. This is an example of other platforms that we used for the subject TSLB 3243. We also used quizzes frequently as it is a good platform to test the students' understanding and knowledge on the topic that we have learned. We will be given a link that can connect us to the application, and at the end of the quiz, the answers will be graded and it will directly link to the respective Google Classroom. From the graded marks, the students will be able to identify their mistakes and make a better improvement.
Moving on to EDUP 3053I, our respective lecturer of EDUP 3053 also gives lectures and tutorials on how to utilize Google Sites and other interactive multimedia applications by Google Meet as shown in the slides. And we also had to put our thinking cap to think critically and creatively as we integrate technology of interactive applications in the lesson plan and materials used in TSLB 3073 and TSLB 3243. Our creativity is also infused by using technology in the teaching and learning process via Google Sites, as the rubrics emphasize on our originality. Therefore, genuine ideas are needed to complete the task. We also had discussions and collaborations among peers and our lecturers through both WhatsApp and Google Meet as we ask questions regarding the task. And we also discussed with our peers in WhatsApp as we shared and exchanged ideas on choosing effective and interactive multimedia application to use in the Google Sites. Prior to the Google Site production, we developed a storyboard of the Google Sites contents, which are homepage, set introduction, step 1, step 2, step 3, case studies, and reflection. The storyboard is mainly based on the lesson plan produced in TSLB 3073 and the materials from TSLB 3243 with the integration of interactive multimedia application used in the Google Sites. So the storyboard somehow is the process of producing the Google Sites as we had organized the contents previously. Moving on to the next part, which is the product. For TSLB 3073, the task 2 of the subject required the students to produce appropriate teaching and learning materials for the intended lesson by taking into consideration regarding the elements of high-order thinking skills, HOTS, independent learning, current context in teaching learning materials, and ICT elements. For the subject of TSLB 3243, the task 1 of the subject required the students to design an age-appropriate activity for a significant particular age group of Malaysian primary ESL learners by producing the materials and the steps for a chosen activity. For EDUP 3053I, the task 2 of the subject required the students to create a multimedia project of producing Google Sites with interactive multimedia application that align to the lesson plan and materials prepared in TSLB 3073 and TSLB 3243. This is the end result of the courseworks for task 2 of TSLB 3073, Teaching of Reading and Writing in ESL Primary Classroom, Task 1 of TSLB 3243, Children and Literacy, and Task 2 of EDUP 3053I, Technology in Teaching and Learning. The materials used for all the tasks are based on TSLB 3073, which is a short reading text on title, nationality, and its country as shown in the slides. For TSLB 3073, creativity is the key to good material design, where we used our creativity to create posters and reading text for the students to cater the students' needs. And creativity is said to become one of the most in-demand skills of the future. Hence, creativity eventually can change the world because creative people can find better solutions to everyday problems, and creative materials can promote effective learning for the pupils. As shown in the slides, we use posters with pictures and colorful fonts to engage the pupils in the learning session. For TSLB 3243, in creating an age-appropriate activity in teaching the reading skills for the Malaysian primary ESL learners, we are required to list the steps on how to conduct the activity, state the materials used in the activity, and the rationale for the choice of the activity and materials. In doing this, we have to be aware of the different learning styles so that the materials produced are good in quality and cater the pupils' needs. We also implement the use of technology to show collaboration with EDUP 3053I by including the use of online interactive applications such as WordWall, Wiseme, and Newport to show the aspect of creativity to make these activities more fun and interesting. All these activities took a lot of consideration to ensure age appropriacy and different literacy level are well implemented and used throughout the activity. For EDUP 3053I, this production of Google Sites shows the creativity of a teacher in integrating technology in teaching and learning. This creativity in using multimedia interactive applications help the pupils to learn better, as the varieties of multimedia applications cater the pupils' needs and their different styles of learning. And using creativity in instructional media is the teacher's work in displaying the teaching learning materials and assessing the pupils' performance conveniently.
And for this Google Sites production, all students are required to upload the Google Sites with public access where everyone can view and try the activities prepared. This is where creativity is seen to provide wider perspective in a global community.
Next, I will pass to the next presenter.
There are a lot of positive impacts that arise from this KPPB initiative. We are going to look at only 3 most significant impacts based on our experiences. One of the positive impacts of KPPB is it increases the students' motivation and engagement when they explore and communicate through digital media. The collaboration of the main course, which is TSLB 3073, and the other 2 guest courses, which are TSLB 3243 and EDUP 3053I, have provided an initiative for the students to analyze their information that they have researched or reuse the product for a different purpose. All these are done when they leverage digital elements throughout the learning process. Secondly, it could also improve the interaction and relationship between the lecturers and the students. Ubiquitous learning happens without physical classroom boundaries, and lecturers and students are learning partners in the process. Thus, with the help of online interactive applications and social media, interactions become faster and more efficient. The third impact of KPPB is how it builds character. It is to take responsibility of our own learning to become more effectively. We took note on how to explore digital elements to maximize our learning and become more proactive towards finding solutions through self-exploration. And that's all from us. Thank you.